These challenges, I have to, part of my goal by having these parent trainings is to get my parents doing less and our children doing more, right? But to get there, I have to ask you to take one more step forward before we can do that, right? But my end goal is my parents do less and the children do more. And isn't that our goal? So we have to start to look at clearly defining expectations. What are they? By the way, your child struggles with working memory. If it's not written down, it doesn't exist. Especially at 2:45 in the afternoon. So we got to stop pretending that we can say something and have it stick. So we want to write down as much as possible. We want to talk about routines. We want to break routines down into the morning routine, afternoon routine, evening routine, weekend routine. Some kids may need a picture schedule. Some might just need a checklist. Work it to their individual learning styles and their developmental needs. We want to talk about values. Values meaning, what are the family values that you are extending to your children? When life gets hard for them, what do they rely on the most? Video games? Or do they rely on the family values that hold them steady? I would say we have a society have gotten away from creating one significant opportunity today to reconnect with the family, right? It was dinner. We've gone away from that in a lot of ways, but that was significant to the children that struggle the most because they need that connection. It grounds them in their self-identity. We talk about chores. Chores meaning, what are the things that your child is responsible to manage as a family throughout the week? Not even considering homework in that moment. Just general chores. You're part of this family. Here's your responsibilities as part of this family, right? And what are the performance? Like, what are the expectations in terms of what I want my children to be able to do? For example, I get on a soapbox about the morning, and I talk about the day starts with how you own your morning. So I get on this performance of how children should ideally perform as they start their day, right? And how much involvement a parent should be giving as a child starts the day in general. And as a symbolic moment of how I start my day determines everything. Privileges and consequences. We're going to talk about the differences between the two. Privileges are those things that in life we earn. And for many of us, we give it to our children for granted, like just as a default, without using privileges as a teaching tool. Because isn't that what life is? So we want to start to teach our children that privileges are earned. And these are the privileges, however you define them. But it's important for our children to understand that and have a perspective that this is what's given to me as just a member of this family, but as I meet expectations, privileges start to be awarded to me for meeting and exceeding expectations that my parents have put down to me. Clear and consistent, performance-based, incorporate family values, engage your children in the creation, and individualize. Here's why we want to do this. Our children's road either doesn't exist or it doesn't look like that. Right? Potholes, maybe no lines, maybe scattered with debris, meaning it is a disordered, chaotic structure. And that's what we want to pull back on. We want to reclaim the road that our children are supposed to be driving down. And the expectations build that. Once we do that, we put them in the car Okay, bike, whatever their age is, right? And then we give them the roadmap. We've already acknowledged that they don't have a roadmap. We give them ours, but we put them behind the wheel because that's the independence we want them to claim, right? Because our goal is to raise independent, responsible young adults who overcome challenges and work hard to meet their own expectations, their personal goals, and the expectations within the roles they play. What are the roles? Student, son or daughter, athlete, musician, friend. All of these roles matter. Now, this is what a family mission statement could look like. In this family, we practice hard work. In this family, we practice doing what is necessary. In this family, we are honest and accountable to ourselves and each other. In this family, we give firm handshakes, make eye contact, and always say please and thank you. As children of this family, your job is that of a student. Our expectations of you as a student is that you will study, do 100% of your homework, and maintain honor roll. We as your parents expect that you will always do your best. In this family, school comes first, extracurricular activities come second. As a member of this family, we all take an active role in supporting each other. Dishes, chores, breakfast, lunch, dinner. It is your responsibility to meet and exceed these expectations and all their expectations in your life. If any of you struggle in your efforts to meet and exceed these expectations, we as your parents are obligated to provide support in order to help you. Exceeding these expectations will earn you various privileges provided by us. Support, such as playing a sport, owning a cell phone, using a car, socializing with friends, playing video games, etc. These expectations will be typed up, signed, and posted in the kitchen for you all to reference if you forget at any time what we expect of you. Now, I just typed that up. My kids aren't even old enough for that yet, but I just said, what would be a general one that most parents can connect with, right? And I've had parents steal that and just modify it to match their own children. But the point is you have to start with something that clearly defines the road that our children go down, right? And for many children, that's all they need. Others, we need to do a little more, right? We need to do a little more. So we have to translate this into